have a,
And I just don't really like to start jumping around.
this is kind of unique. Columbia has a few of these intersections. The other, there are
Great. Are you good? Let me have to find my.
but yeah, this is, so it's all shared. Like on Friday night,
It's so nice you can have.
Yeah,
I
Sunday
can
morning,
have like I just type his name and it just come up.
flag goes away. And all, everything is green.
Isn't that great?
Like that, you've got a couple of places. Yeah, those popped up.
I'm so happy.
And you know,
Where we got
the pressure.
we got matching socks.
Yeah.
That's
Very sweet. He's like attached to me at the hip. He's like
Yeah, so each congregation contributes to the room. So,
That's great. And what is the synagogue? The two synagogue congregations that they both reform or conservative? Both.
the other one is reform / constructionist.
Yes. Yes.
So,
had no family, you had a dog.
I love like I live by myself for
we had to do a joint.
years now. But as I have to say,
Reconstruction is interesting. We have a place that shares with a conservative.
Come home and it's just
And we're not a
thrilled to
conservative
see you.
congregation.
Doesn't matter what time of day.
Shares. It's just the construction.
I had
Conservative.
they worked me.
Conservative.
Conservative and orthodox.
I only learned about
I've
it.
never heard of it.
Past. I didn't have a dog for years because I was
Never heard of it.
dog. At that point in my life,
Instead of just classic.
but I was so excited when I realized,
Well,
oh my gosh,
More shops.
I'm working from home.
Show
I'm
me.
not that busy.
So I mean, that's there.
I gotta get a dog. I can get a dog.
Conservatism is here, and then conservatism, you know,
Never heard of
Yeah,
it.
he was a spray.
and then of course it's just many.
I came from the country. I was not worried. I was afraid. Every single day, he would hide behind me on the elevator.
You have a condo?
I do, actually, I have a huge house when I retired. Everybody on my mother's house.
So training and some Prozac and he's so good.
I had that for a while, and I decided to downsize physically myself instead of taking care of it.
Yeah.
And I'm single.
Near the ocean?
Nowhere near the ocean, so we're out of the flood zone.
You're not near the ocean.
Yeah, no, I'm a good 6 miles in.
Oh, really?
Thank you.
Testing, testing.
I kept going through, I didn't go through like a shelter, I went through like private. That sounds funny saying private
Remember it
shelter,
well.
but what about, I never said, my dog, yeah, that sounds such a choir. He was a little choir, so there was no choir. Yeah. Like, if I could get a dog, other places that are like, fenced in yard.
I grew up in Brooklyn. I worked at NASA.
It's kind of crazy.
Many
They don't visit, it means nothing, like, you don't know.
Thank you. There's three things going on now. It's more
Oh.
Thank God they have private transportation ability now.
Yes, yes.
Because,
Wait for it, she has
you can't possibly be easy on those people that psychologically, physically, comparing week to month, and now you're turning into month.
Oh, I have, is that God? I have the New Year. The New Year week. I
Shana Tova.
Okay.
Let's go.
That's so great. I'm so happy for you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's you know, it's a responsibility. It's toilet training, all that stuff. But I think the joy outweighs the responsibility.
And all the rabbis are rabbis.
Should this go back this way? Should this
Bob,
one
thank
go
you.
this way further?
No? No.
Sorry that I'm all tied up here.
Pretty good.
Everybody's good, thank
So
you.
they all came in for your birthday.
3 out of 5.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I was gonna say,
That's good.
I don't want to.
One of the two that didn't come in, you guys moved to,
Where we stand, so
Vancouver, British
this is our camp.
Columbia. No, it's a registered, he's applied for residence. How's your son doing?
My sister to say hello.
The others are in the Midwest.
Well, yeah, Ohio and Nebraska. So the one that moved out to Canada can't leave.
Thanks again.
I'm gonna, you're welcome. I'm gonna pull her back here. Thank you.
So we're standing, are we?
Yeah, for when we say can't.
Excuse me, so he can't leave
Yeah.
the country for a year.
Exactly.
He can leave, but he can't get back in for a year. So he didn't come. He couldn't come. He and his
No,
wife.
no.
And our daughter that lives in Houston, her son, her husband,
She's
was
monitoring,
diagnosed with
checking
colorectal
people in.
cancer, stage 3. So he went through the chemo and the radiation and the surgery to put in the ostomy bag. And, so they couldn't come in. He's dealing with a lot now. So
Joan was a WOCN,
I know.
that's what she did for
I know she told
50
me.
years.
I know she told me. I wish they were here. In fact, I even said to my daughter, Julie, I said, we have a friend who used to do this for a long time, and if you have any questions, I know she would be more than happy to talk to you. And, no, we're fine. Okay.
You can always call us.
Yeah, well, I said, when he got home from the hospital, I said, are you having home health? And she said, no, we refused it. We said we could do it. I'm thinking, what's with these kids, Now, I don't know if on I know Medicare pays for it, but if you have regular surgery, I think when I had my spine surgery, I wasn't on Medicare, and my insurance paid for it.
Yes.
So
You recognize that.
yeah, after he had his surgery, they said, okay, you're cancer-free, you're cured or something. I mean, Bob and I still go to oncologists, and they never say cured, ever. You're cancer-free for today. But you know what? I'm not going there right now. If they want to think that he's cured, that's their thing, right?
Yep. It's kind of scary. All right, here we go. 5 minutes to the countdown. You don't know what room.
I need to ask Bob.
I'll find it.
He'll be there, so he usually is my usher. If we're not sure. Right, well, I might be my usher.
We'll find it. Good crowd here.
Yeah, a couple months ago I was like, oh, it's really empty.
Yeah,
There's
no,
one
it's
table
people coming down.
right on time.
Break a leg. As we say.
L'Shana Tova, everybody.
Lashana Tova.
L'Shana Tova.
Did very good.
Hi, Mark.
Oh, Marge. Are you coming tomorrow or no? Yeah, yeah.
I promise you I'll give you more time to greet each other very shortly. But let us begin our service on page 110. Once again, L'Shana Tova. As I explained last night, in Israel this year, they're not saying L'Shana Tova Umetuka. Here is to a sweet new year, for nobody, unfortunately, is convinced with hostages still in Gaza and Israel in the depths of war that this is going to be, at least at the beginning, metuka, sweet. It does not feel that sweetness is right in reach right now. So rather, people are using the greeting, Leshana Tova Yoter, may this be a better year. My colleague, Rabbi Benjamin Zoba, shares this story. A woman dreamed she walked into a brand new shop in a brand new mall. And she was more than a little surprised to discover God behind the counter. What kind of merchandise is for sale here, she asks. Everything to fulfill all your burning desires, God answered. The woman couldn't believe her ears. Everything to fulfill her burning desires? So after thinking it over, she decided to ask for only the very best things that any human being could passionately want. She said, I'd like to have peace of mind and love and freedom from fear and genuine happiness. And then she added, and not just for me, but for the whole world, for everybody on the face of the earth. God smiled. Perhaps you are misunderstanding. We don't sell fruits here. We only sell seeds. During these hours of this new year of 5785, we pray for those seeds, seeds of peace of mind, seeds of love, seeds of freedom from fear, and seeds of genuine happiness. To all of you, Leshana Tova Yoter. Let's take a few minutes to greet each other. If there is somebody that you do not recognize, that you do not know, even if you think you're going to make a faux pas by saying Leshana Tova and introducing yourself, do so. Welcome them here to Beit Aviv.
I'm not sure. They sure do. In droves. Well, it's nice to see everybody talking to each other.
Yeah. Just like when they came in.
So it's Giselle's birthday.
So when are they singing?
Technically I'm on the member list, so.
Oh, that's too bad.
I never get any
It's too bad they have so many that they can't split up to, 20 in the one service and 20 in the other service.
No, I've gone, there's a foundation by me that I like, but it's like,
It's okay. No one except for us would have lost.
I am. I mean, even if I was, I don't think anyone would kick me out of
This is because we had no one except for us would have lost. No, I noticed because I followed along.
What's the best offer? Something.
I do. Not much, but I can but I guess I'll do it.
She makes me sad, things up at this point. What? I said it makes me
If I
sad.
had to pay you, because I'm pretty sure I would be in the negative.
Join a contribution. Start to die off.
Please feel free to take a seat again. I invite you to take your seats. Thank you for being welcoming to each other. Thank you for being generous with the spirit of greeting each other, welcoming each other, making people feel at home here at Beta Viv at Oakland Mills Interfaith Center. I'm delighted to ask our co-president, Lou Ebert, to come forward and share with us for a few moments a little bit about this fantastic congregation, about Beta Viv.
I think we're going to get accused of pulling a bait and switch now after that introduction. But we'll see. Good Yom Tov, everyone. I've been given two instructions in making this talk this year. The first is keep it real. The second is keep it no longer than 10 minutes. I will obey, and I welcome everybody to fact check me too. Let me start with the great news. The great news is that the rabbi is going to be here for the next 5 years. God willing. And we're just so excited to announce that today. When Art and I started out last year, we had three principal objectives. The first, to stabilize the loss in membership. The second, to get the congregation on a firm financial footing. And three, to build membership back up. In all candor, I think we've met two of the three objectives. We've stopped the bleeding. We actually had, believe it or not, about 350 members at the end of 2020. We now are hovering around 200, which has been the case since mid-2023. Like so many religious institutions all over the country, we were decimated by COVID. It hit us harder, of course, because of the age of our congregation. And people have become satisfied with watching religious services on the internet, even if they're from different congregations all over the country. Now, we continue to have losses, those that we can't prevent, people passing, people moving to be near their relatives, and people moving to be in retirement communities. And that's not going to change, not with the average age of our congregation being what it is. With your support, we had a very successful high holiday appeal last year. But all that did was to cover our 2023 operating loss and replenish reserves. We initiated a corporate fundraising effort for the first time. We had social events that raised money. We did everything that we could think of. I even had my tooth pulled on Monday, hoping that the tooth fairy might leave something for us. But all that she left was a note saying, "You're too old." We've tried our best to build membership, creating membership acquisition and membership retention committees. We initiated marketing efforts on the web. We sent letters to almost 3,000 Jews in Howard County who are over 50 years of, over 50 years of age this summer. But as of now, we're just holding steady on membership, taking into account, of course, the losses. But we are scheduled to have about 24 guests here today and hopefully on Yom Kippur as a result of our marketing efforts. They are wearing blue tags. Now, in appreciation of them coming for these high holidays, we're giving them two options. One is to have next year covered by simply a pay from the heart payment. The other is a personally autographed copy of today's talk by me. Now, when you see people with this blue tag, please welcome them, but don't try to influence their decision. Our recent experience and research that we have done have shown that right now in the Jewish community, not just here, but all over the country, people who are not affiliated simply don't want to be affiliated. We really thought that the great increase in anti-Semitism that everybody has witnessed might motivate unaffiliated Jews to join up. But actually, very unfortunately, there's evidence that it's just been the contrary. When I started out, people would come up to me and said, we got to get people who are in their 50s. Let me tell you, it's much easier said than done. Thus, we really are going to have to be patient before we can build up significant membership increases. So what does that mean for us? What it means is that we have to, with 200 people, cover the expenses that we ran up with a membership of 350. When we had the Paula meetings last year, you told us very clearly that we wanted the rabbi to stay and we wanted Beth with her beautiful voice to stay. We've done that. But absent the high holiday appeal, we were going to have a $50,000 operating loss this year, and the same in future years. It would have been bigger this year, but for the $15,000 security grant that we got from Howard County. Now, security costs are very, very high, and it really is disturbing, I know, to all of us that we have to spend so much money on security. But unfortunately, that's what the world gives us today. Hopefully that will change and get better. An AI tool that I have on my phone tells me that 80% of Jewish congregations over the country rely on a high holiday appeal. We just started it. We last longer than most do, but it just has to become a reality. Last year, I was asking for your donations to help our congregation survive. You came through. I can't honestly make that same type of plea again. We have reserves for a few years. But what I can tell you is that absent a successful high holiday appeal, we're going to have to raise dues in a significant manner. When I started preparing Better V's budgets in 2020 for Rich Madonna and the board, we had a relatively few number of people asking for special payment arrangements to pay their dues. We have a lot more now. And if we have to raise dues, we're going to have even more than that. And nobody wants that. We don't want to bring hardship to those who can't afford it. So what I'm asking is that for the people that can afford to give a little bit more this year, please help us out, and let's not put an additional burden on people who are on fixed incomes who just can't afford a dues increase. Now, what else can you do to help? Well, if every one of you would just bring one unaffiliated person or couple to our services, to a lunch and learn, to an adult education, to a social event, anything, they would see what a wonderful place we have here, and hopefully we could increase our membership that way. Now, as I stated in my appeal letter, which went out to everybody, we're fortunate enough to have a group of members who are putting up matching funds up to $50,000. What that means is that for every dollar that's donated up to $50,000, it essentially gets doubled. And what that means is, even if you feel that you can only afford a little bit, please do it, because it's going to be doubled. The only problem with it not being doubled is if we collect over $50,000 without these matching funds. And an old boss of mine would call that a high-class problem. You've got to get your money in by October 18th. If you're going to mail it, make sure that the envelope is postmarked by the 18th. So that's the simple truth of it all. Charity is an important part of Rosh Hashanah in that, among other things, it's a time for giving back. So let us consider giving back to a community that has given us so much. To those of you that have already given, thank you. L'shana tova yoter.
We continue on page 138. Holy One, infinite your power, radiant your glory, unbound your might, awe-inspiring your works. Hamelech Yoshev al Kiseh Ram V'Nisa, a majestic God, today enthroned beyond time and space. Eternally present, your name is hallowed on high. And the psalmist sang, rejoice in Adonai, you righteous. Let the upright adorn you with praise. Page 141.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, אמן. בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכנו ויומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם, ונעלי על מאיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו לילה ולילה, מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה. ויאמרו, אמן.
Please rise.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
Source of blessings, our eternal God, your power fills the cosmos, shaping light, creating darkness, making peace, and fashioning all things.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam, yotzei or uvarei rosheh, oseh shalom uvarei et hakol.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu,
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam, yotzei or uvarei rosheh, oseh shalom uvarei et hakol.
Please join me with the Ahava Rabbah in English together on page 146 and 148. Love abundant, love unstinting. Our God, you enfolded us in love. Tender compassion beyond all bounds. Your precious gift. Our fathers and mothers gave you their trust, and you gave them Torah, laws by which to live. For their sake, teach us as well. Grace us with your guidance. Loving Father, merciful Mother of us all, grant us clear understanding that we may listen, learn, and teach. Preserve, practice, and fulfill with love every lesson of your Torah. May learning your Torah light up our eyes. May our hearts embrace your mitzvot. Unite us in love and reverence for you, that we may never feel ashamed of our deeds. We have trust. Bring us in peace from the four corners of the earth. Lead us with upright pride to the land that is ours. You are a God of miracles and wonders. From all the peoples of the earth, you sought us out and brought us near to your great enduring truth. So with love we acknowledge and proclaim that you are one. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher ba'amo Yisrael, be'ahava.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 163. Remember the stories of slavery, and you will never stop working for freedom. Remember their fear at the edge of the sea, and self-doubt will never defeat you. Remember when desperation turned to celebration, and you will never let go of hope. Remember the words of the Baal Shem Tov. Forgetfulness leads to exile. Remembrance is the secret of redemption.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neda b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osef ele, nora tehilot, osef ele, shira chadasha, שיבחו גאולים לשמך על שפת הים יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו
Make every effort to pray from the heart. Even if you do not succeed, the effort is precious in the eyes of the Eternal One. We rise for tefillah.
Adonai sefatai tiftach, ufi agitei latecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מחלקי חיים בחסד, מחיי יעקב רחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לבני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממיט ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. מי כמוך אל הרחמים, זוכר יצוריו לחיים ברחמים. ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, ברוך שמו, מחיי הכל.
Please be seated. Page 175. Please read the italics in this reading. Unitane tokef. Let us embrace the day and its holiness, for this day is a throne of goodness and power. When the people of Israel do God's will, they strengthen God's power on high. But when the people of Israel fail to do God's will, they weaken, if one might see it, God's great power on high. So let this day recall your power and ours. Let it remind us of our promises kept and broken as we remind you of yours. Let this day be a throne of forgiveness. For today, we are the accountants of our souls, the navigators of our hearts, seeking wholeness and new direction. And we seek you through signs of your presence in the arc of sacred history. I make this covenant not with you alone, but with those who are standing here with us this day, and with those who are not. God of ages past and future, God of this day, as you were with our mothers and fathers, be with us as well.
תוקף קדושת היום, כי הוא נורא ואיום, ובו תינשא מלכותך, וייכון בחסד כיסאך, ותשב עליו באמת.
page 178. Rosh Hashanah yikatevun. On Rosh Hashanah, this is written, Uveyom Som Kippur yichatemun. On the fast of Yom Kippur, this is sealed.
Rosh Hashanah yikatevun, uveyom Som Kippur yechatemun. Berosh Hashanah yikatevun, uveyom Som Kippur yechatemun.
Time,
Who by high ordeal, who by common trial, who in your merry, merry month of May, who by very slow decay, and to
Hashanah
shall I say, is is calling.
Who in her lonely slip, who by barbiturate, who in these realms of love, who by something blunt,
Who by avalanche, who by powder, who for his greed, who for his hunger, and who shall I say is is calling.
and who by brave ascent, who by accident, who in solitude, who in this mirror,
Who by his lady's command, who by his own hand, who in mortal chains, who in power, and who
Hashanah
shall I say is is calling.
Utshuva, utfila, utzdaka, ma'avarin et ro'ah hagezerah. But through return to the right path, through prayer and righteous giving, we can transcend the harshness of the decree. Please rise, page 184.
Lie, 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 lie. שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ כבודו, אדיר אדירנו, אדוני אדוננו, מדיר שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו, אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כוחי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור. הללויה, 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 הללויה.
Please be seated. Microphone's tipped over. There we go. What are ways, my friends, that we have felt awe? We felt God's holiness in the world. Did you have something to say? How do you feel awe? Feel awe around our spouses. We feel awe. We feel God's holiness in the world because it was your beshert, finding your beshert. Beautiful. Yes. Kvelling at our grandchildren, we feel awe, we feel God's presence in the beauty of the music that Beth and Michaela created together, yes.
I was fortunate enough to go to Iceland last month with the Brodskys and the Balthazars, and in a lot of rain we saw waterfalls, and we just saw nature in all its beauty. And then after that I went to London on my own and went to a lot of art museums, and I saw the beauty that people have created. And so I guess those are the two things that bring me awe: nature and creation of humanity.
beautiful. We feel awe when we see nature. We feel awe when we see the creativity. Oh my gosh, how creative people are, the creations of humanity. How do we sense God's holiness? How do we in our lives honor God? Yes? By coming to services regularly. I love that answer. We honor God by being here with our community, by praying to God in this kihila. We honor God. How else do we honor God? Yes.
Continuing to give the various appeals to keep this congregation.
Okay, Lou, your message was heard. We honor God by giving to community, financially, volunteering, becoming members. That is a way that we honor God. One more, yes, Cal.
Through Jewish study.
Through Jewish study, we honor God. Last night I talked about the text line, that we are not a bloodline, but a text line. When we study Jewish text, we honor God. All right. How do we sense God's holiness? In what ways do we put menschlichkeit, right, out into the world? Yes. By
things we do here with having the food, giveaways to go online, going to our daily bread, we're all being nice.
Tikkun Olam, food giveaways at OMI, our daily bread, but also we have don't forget that we have our high holiday food appeal going on right now. Make sure that you give to that. How else do we put menschlichkeit? Honoring God's holiness, sensing God's holiness into the world. Yes?
By helping another, by looking after someone else besides ourselves.
By looking after other people besides ourselves, reaching out, heart to heart, soul to soul, helping someone else. That menschlichkeit is the way both we can sense God's holiness and they can sense God's holiness. One more. Yes, Darla.
By being very good role models for our children, grandchildren, and other young people.
Being a role model, right? Being a good role model, being a mensch, right? For the next generations and the people around us, being our best selves. That way, we sense God's holiness in ourselves, but other people sense it in us, and it brings it out